Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing our next G.I. Joe classified figure review of codename Dusty. His name is Ronald Todor, named after the figure designer Ron Rudat. Just some quick history of the character. He's a desert trooper. He is a specialist in all desert warfare, desert operations. He made his first appearance in G.I. Joe Real American Hero issue 58, which he kind of displays some of that desert savviness and expertise in his combat and the way he engages with the enemy. The figure itself has been pretty controversial. I know I'm doing this review kind of late compared to a lot of the other folks in the community, but I really have only two things to say about this figure, and they're going to be a little redundant, but for the most part I really like this figure. Right, the camo print on his fatigues is really good, and yes, it is a lot of reuse, but the web gear, even the skirt doesn't ride up or down. His boots look really good. His knife looks really good, right? Everything about the figure and the mold itself looks really solid. And I have nothing bad to say about the mold. I do wish that this was a little bit more articulate in terms of the hand swivel, because I like being able to tuck the hand like this or tuck the hand like that, right? You can't really get that with the other side. It's really stiff. So I wish it would switch. I wish these would switch, because I like him being right-handed, not left-handed. But anyways, so before we get into my two biggest critiques, I want to go over the accessories. First, we have his backpack, right? And this is really nice. The sculpt looks really good, and you can see the glare kind of shows a lot of the textures. I mean, even the wrinkles in the inside, look at that. That looks great. And I know that there's been a lot of critiques about the colors not matching, but I mean, at first glance you really can't notice it. His FAMAS, right? It's an Israeli weapon. It has a hole for any blast effects. I'm hoping to get my hands on the 2-pack that's coming out for the Cobra figures, so I can have them. I skipped out on the Cobra Viper 3-pack, but hopefully that female Cobra Trooper 2-pack comes sooner than later, so I can have some blast effects for my figures. The magazine is detachable, right? And this is a weapon that comes with his classic figure, which we will do a real, brief comparison. It does come with, two separate goggles, right? A smaller one for getting on top of the figure's eyes. The other one is for the helmet itself, right? And the long one really does fit well in the helmet. It fits pretty snugly. The small one fits good on the eyes as well. My only thing is the plastic is really soft, and this isn't stretching. This came like this. This is just, the mold is really light, so it kind of looks like I stretched it, but that's how it came first out of the box, really. So yeah, if we take a look at the original figure, which we have here, this is a restored figure, right? This isn't like a figure that I got mint on card. You can see some of the wearing there, but my biggest critique about this Dusty figure right off the bat is that they don't print the same kind of camo on the face. I think if you have the camo across his face that way, or like in the art, or I know in the back in the comic it doesn't really have that, but I think its face mold would have popped even more. And that's good, it's not bad, but they're more of like tiger stripes than they are camo prints. And maybe that's what we're gonna get soon, right? He has a Tiger First variation, so it's very possible that we see that, right? But man, it really is a missed opportunity there with that camo. That's my first big critique. But yeah, give me a second and we'll get them all geared up, and we'll move into my second critique. Also, before I forget, I want to go over the box. Right, we have the G.I. Joe Classified, pretty standard, Dusty. Doesn't have his full name, which is kind of weird, but we have the artwork, which I think looks really good. But we see those tiger stripes again. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Kind of across the mouth like that. That would have been dope. You know, the back, again, pretty standard. And then we have him kind of up against the wall, taking cover in the desert. And then you can kind of see him silhouetted. Overall, some pretty cool artwork. But number 49, Desert Ops, Communications. Not sure what these two mean, but you can always find them online. Yeah, that's the box. Put it off to the side. So here we go, got them all geared up. I like having the goggles over the helmet, just like that. And I don't like to tuck the goggles under the helmet like that, right? I don't like tucking the helmet. I know that's been the trick, and I'll also get into that, right? I'll also get into what the best way to fix this whole helmet issue. And here's really my second biggest critique, right? So what Hasbro decided to do was to have the goggles removable, right? That's what they wanted to do. But it doesn't really make sense to have it removable, right? Other than just for the sake of being able to have it like this, which I don't think looks as good, right? If you're gonna make a smaller version that can go over his eyes, right? So what I think they could have done to kind of avoid this whole mess is, it seems like what they did is they made the plastic softer at the helmet, right? Which allows these to stretch without breaking, right? What I would have done is I would have gone with the harder plastic to make sure that it fits snug on top of his head, molded the goggles on the helmet, and then gone with some soft goods, and then brought the second goggles to go over his eyes. So you have the helmet, right, that's molded, and the smaller goggles for his face, and I think it would have been perfect. And I know a lot of people are complaining, or not complaining, but saying that this helmet doesn't fit good or it looks too big. Well, that's how those helmets fit in real life, right? And I did the water trick, the hot water trick, to mold it on better. And I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to this Instagram page, this guy on Instagram that I found, who said he was going to be doing the hot water trick on his, and I reached out to him, and he was able to share the recipe, or at least the steps, and I'm going to share those steps with you guys too. So if you want to do the same thing, you can help shape, or it'll help you shape his helmet a lot better. And mine fits really, really good. It's not falling off at all. Will it fall off if I start messing with it? A little bit, right? But for the most part, it fits pretty snug. And I was able to fix that with hot water, so I definitely recommend doing that to your figure. And that's really the only fix that I felt like needed to be done. And now it's great. I actually really love this figure. I think it's maybe my top 3. Probably my number 1 right now in the classified series. Maybe of figures that have come out already, I really love the Kamakura one and the Crimson Guard. Maybe the Crimson Guard and Storm Shadow are definitely up there, but those are probably my favorite as of right now. But yeah, I personally, in my opinion, if I were to give this a grade, I would say, you know, controversy aside, and the issues aside in terms of quality, or the QC issues. I know there's been issues with like the arms kind of bending a little bit. Well, I mean, I don't think that's too much of an issue. At least not with my figure. I know the Crimson Guards have that figure. I mean, that issue a lot, but I don't think it's that big of an issue. I would say if you're a fan of this character, you have to get this. Dusty is just a great figure all the way around. From the gun to the camo print to the mold to the face mold, like it really doesn't miss. So definitely, if you see him out in the wild, I say definitely go for it and get it for sure. But I wouldn't pay anything more than retail. Don't pay for resale prices. Even if you go to a comic shop and they mark it up a couple bucks, just either get it somewhere else or get it in the wild. But I definitely think if you can, and if you're a fan, pick it up. It's not a must own, and I definitely wouldn't say to pass on him, but yeah. So that's about it. Again, I want to give really a big shout out to everybody who watched my last 2023 wish list video. I didn't expect it to get as many views as it did. You know, I'm still trying to get the channel running and get everything going. I'm gonna be rebranding pretty soon. I just kind of want to start getting videos out there, but I'm gonna be changing the name, you know, adding a new logo and all this stuff to make that page feel a little bit more official. So we're gonna go ahead and get into some action shots, some action poses, and thanks again. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out. Leave some comments below. What do you guys think about this hot water fix? I mean, I think it looks, and it just is so much better now. Yeah. Whoops. But yeah, that's a lot better than it was before. All right, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. See you next time.